Edie tries to cut rush through line has to pay thousands. Hello everyone, as with most posts, here are the obligatory warnings. First time poster, English is not my native language, you can point out mistakes or mildly roast me though, I'm always happy to improve. Long text, TLDR at the bottom. Not on mobile, so feel free to point out formatting mistakes. Short background, this happened like 3 years ago, so I don't remember every detail to 100%, and this whole story won't have much of actual conversation in it. It just sums everything up. The story happened on a train ride from my hometown, where my family lives, to the city of my own place where I work. Halfway across the country, roughly 350 kilometers on a Sunday evening, since I was visiting my family over the weekend. And since it had a rather bad connection, I had to switch trains 3 times on every trip, and each trip took about 5 hours in total. My foot was injured, hurt, important later. I don't know why anymore though, and I was in training at work. Therefore I didn't earn that much, also important later. Now to the details. It was starting to get winter, and as you might expect, the national train company was taken by surprise, as always, sigh. So many trains were late or completely cancelled. I started my travel at 6 PM to theoretically arrive at roughly 11 PM at my desired arrival station. Then winter struck and my first train got 10 minutes late on a 50-minute ride. This caused me to rush to the next train in pain because of my foot. As luck will have it, the connecting train either already left or never even came, so I had to wait an hour for the next one. This one also arrived at the next stop with a delay of 45 minutes, so I arrived there at about 9:45 PM. The last train to my destination was leaving at roughly 8:30 PM for that day. There was another at 10:30 PM, but I only would arrive the next morning at roughly 6 AM. Since this was a big train station in a big city and the fact that the train company was forced to give me compensation for their failure to transport me, I stayed there instead of ending up in some small village station, where I wouldn't be guaranteed to get a hotel or even get away from the train station. Since I didn't have much money on me to pay a taxi and the fact that those small stations usually don't have any personnel or ATMs, so I headed to the information counter where the story unfolded. Cast, me, he whose name shall not be told. ED is entitled dad, TA, train station assistant, plus many more which won't get abbreviations. Let's go. So I come up to the desk and tell the lady my story and demands per their company policy the law, them paying the night in their contracted hotel near the train station and changing my ticket from tied to certain trains to open, so that I could get to my destination without having to purchase a new ticket, pretty standard. While I was speaking with TA, Edie and his 2 kids came up behind me. The kids didn't do anything though, and even though there are clear signs and posters all around the info desk that tell people to exercise discretion and wait behind an indicated line, Edie comes up crouching right beside me. It annoyed me, but I figured that I had a bad matchup against him with my foot if I confronted him. But then he started to slowly scurry towards me and slowly push me out of his way with his body weight and small steps. At that point I had enough and pushed him away, and the following discussion ensued. Me: dude, what's wrong with you? Can't you read? The sign clearly states that you should stay back there, and pushing me away while I'm still talking is an asshole move. Edie: shut up, I have 2 small kids and you were taking way too long anyway. They are tired and we need to get a hotel room soon. You're young, you can walk to another hotel. Me: no, you shut up. I have exactly the same right to that hotel room as you and I was here first. So get back in line and learn to behave like a normal adult. TA: sir, please step behind the line and stop bothering the passenger. We weren't finished yet. Edie: shut up. I said we need a room fast. To me: and now get out of the way. Me: F off, a-hole. He kicks my legs away, causing me to fall hard on the granite floor with my elbow and now completely twisting my injured foot. TA: security! Please be reminded that 1 security guy, another TA and 2 passengers were standing right next to us on the second counter during the whole situation and saw everything. Facepalm. Well, the security guys grab and fix Edie on the ground. Edie's kids are crying and scared, as to be expected. The 2 TAs try to console them and call police, and the other passengers helped me, as I was in severe pain and called an ambulance. The police took statements and identification from everyone and let everyone go since they had no reason to arrest him immediately. Then the whole after story hit him full force. I had to stay the night and next full day and night in hospital for checks and was then let go on crutches. My ankle was sprained, but my elbow was fine. I only hit the funny bone. Since I still couldn't walk well enough, was in too much pain to take the train, I had to call a taxi to drive me the 200 kilometers to my own place. In hindsight, it would have been better to get back to my family, but well, you're always smarter afterwards. My parents quickly sent me money for it via PayPal after they heard the story and my plans. So I didn't have to go to work for a month, since that job required me to stand and walk all day, and had time to get a lawyer. My parents lent me the money for it since I could have never afforded the lawyer, and sue the guy in civil court. I didn't try criminal court since that wouldn't have brought any personal gain for me. In the end, the judge granted me a damage pay of roughly 400 euros for the pain and another half of my monthly pay for financial loss, and because the guy behaved like a dickhead in court, insulted me and the judge, lying, screaming, etc. And of course Edie had to pay his and my lawyer costs and the court costs as it is standard. The thing is, I didn't even have a high financial loss since my employer still had to pay my salary while I couldn't work. I just had to order enough food for the next week since I couldn't go grocery shopping that well. Edie felt like this was unfair and appealed. Well, let's just say the next judge upped the damage by roughly 100 euro because Edie still behaved like a dickhead. He didn't try a next round. So to sum it up, he most likely lost 4 lawsuits, 2 against me, 1 against my health insurance, 1 against my employer, had to pay damage pay, roughly 500 euros, roughly half my salary for financial loss, also 500 euros, my taxi bill for the ride home, special long distance taxi so more expensive, the driver's ride back into the original city, his operation zone, is 850 euro. My lawyer cost 3000 euros, court cost as easily a few hundred euros, his own lawyer, most likely not cheaper than mine, probably all my hospital bills, the crutches, painkillers, my actual salary, and all the lawyer and court costs for those lawsuits. I said probably for the medical and salary payments because I don't know if they sued or if everything was paid by his insurance, which is highly likely, and that just his premium had gotten higher. So yeah, I alone get roughly 5,000 euro from him, plus all the rest that his insurance had to pay. Phew, you made it through this novel. Congratulations and sincere apologies from me for this long wall of text. So here's the next story. Be my daughter's BF or get arrested. Sorry for my bad formatting, I'm on mobile. So there was this girl who I knew from my school and tuition classes both. She had a crush on me and I knew. Then there was an interesting turn of events. Meet the cast. Me, bet you can't figure that out. EK, girl who had a crush on me. EM, entitled mom. C, cute girl, relevant later. C is my tuition teacher's neighbor who is about 4 years of age. I treat this girl like the little sister I never had. She always comes and sits beside me and I play with her. So EK tells me she has a crush on me. I politely refused as I was already in a relationship. She said she would wait for me to break up. I thought she was taking it well. I was wrong. That day when I reached home, I get a call from her mother and the following conversation took place. EM: hello, is this OP? Yes, it's me. Do you know EK has a crush on you? Yes, she told me. So why did you refuse her? Madam, I'm already in a relationship. Since you can't understand simple language, I'll tell C's mom you sexually assaulted her. I just hung up the phone and talked to my mom about it. She called C's mom and told her about it, who called the police. EM got a year in jail. Worst part was EK didn't know anything about it. That woman makes my blood boil. So those were the stories for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be highly appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Also, if you enjoyed this and want to stay up to date on the latest videos, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video.